not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big natural welterweight. And of course we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know what he fought. You would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean, he was that.
I wouldn't count Manny out. I know he's a little older, but he's got a lot of experience, a lot of skills, and I don't really know who's gonna get that one. I feel like if he was fighting with the last fight with Anto, whatever his name is, I feel like Barnes would take it, but like Manny, he's gonna be lower weight this time. He's gonna be cut up, in shape, ready. So,
Manny Pacquiao is set to return to the ring. And despite the age difference between him and Mario Barrios, many boxing professionals are picking him to win the fight. They have compared the two fighters, highlighted their strengths, and concluded that Pacquiao's speed and intensity would make up for any disadvantage his age might bring.
Very well. He's a true guy that he put on a huge head. And obviously, to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, try to do that. That's what Manny, one thing I always learned with Manny is give 100%. Try your best to work. So, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't really find the time that other times it's hard and it's hard.
After this shocking news broke earlier in the week, former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford shared his thoughts on Pac-Man's sensational return to boxing. Speaking in a media scrum, Crawford was asked about the rumors that the Filipino legend is set to lace up the gloves once again after a 4-year hiatus. He responded, "I don't know. We shall see."
There's a rumor going around this week that Manny Pacquiao is going to return. What do you make of that?
I don't know. We shall see. I don't know.
Do you think he's too old at 46 to fight Barrios?
I can't say if he's too old or not. If he get in there and win, then everybody will be saying different. So I don't put no limit on an all-time great like Manny Pacquiao.
Where does the winner gonna get?
Bud was then asked if he believes Pacquiao is now too old to face someone like Barrios. He responded, "I can't say if he's too old or not, If he gets in there and wins, then everybody will be saying differently, so I don't put no limit on an all-time great like Manny Pacquiao." Should the former champion emerge victorious against WBC champion Barrios, it would be one of the most impressive wins in recent years. The last time Pacquiao held a world title was in 2019, with his final defense coming against Keith Thurman in July of that year. Another familiar face has also returned to Pacquiao's training team as the Filipino icon prepares to come out of retirement once again to take on welterweight champion Mario Barrios.
It's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now.
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. He should have that power. Barrios is a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he's gonna have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro.
Australian Justin Fortune, who has long served as Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach, has reported for duty at Pacquiao's training base in Los Angeles. He is committed to ensuring that the 46-year-old legend is in peak condition as he attempts to defy the odds and capture Mario Barrios' WBC welterweight title in their fight, reportedly scheduled for July 19th in Las Vegas. Pacquiao and his team arrived in Los Angeles 2 days ago, and the following day, the Filipino southpaw immediately got to work, reuniting with Freddie Roach at the Wildcard Gym for a light workout despite the long flight. "He'll feel the jet lag tomorrow, maybe," Fortune told Los Angeles-based boxing video journalist Eli Sekbach.
Very important fight. But Manny looks good. I saw the video. He looks in shape. Yeah. He's fast. He's strong.
What do you think of the people? They're making so much of his exhibition in Japan. The exhibition he had with Anko. Why do you think they're making a lot of it?
Pacquiao will attempt to break his own record set in 2019 when he defeated Keith Thurman to become the oldest welterweight world champion at 40 years old. It will be a tough challenge against Barrios, who, at 30 years old and standing 5'9", is in his prime and more active. The shorter Pacquiao will once again need to rely on his speed, which, according to Fortune, is still present. He did lose a beat, still fast anyway, but we just have to adjust his training schedule because he's not 25 anymore, Fortune explained. He then went on to hype Pacquiao's imminent boxing return, even comparing the former 8-division world champion to Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time.
Manny, the last year. But this coming fight on July 19, this is a real fight. Yeah, this is a big fight.
So they're gonna see a different Manny.
Yeah. I promise that's how he got. Of course, all the team fucking don't work together with that.
He's Pacquiao. He's the Jordan of boxing, simple as that. He's that famous, and boxing needs him, Fortune said. Despite his strong belief that Manny Pacquiao will be victorious, he admitted he's genuinely concerned for the boxing legend as he prepares to return to the ring at age 46. Pacquiao is set to challenge 30-year-old Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title on July 19th, marking his first professional fight since 2021. In his last pro outing, Pac-Man was outpointed by Yordenis Ugas. Although he has participated in exhibition bouts since then, Barrios is expected to present a far more serious challenge than those previous opponents, as noted by Pacquiao's former promoter, Bob Arum.
You see him bringing that international star.
I think he's a bigger star than Pacquiao because Pacquiao was more normal as a fighter.
I can't say anything negative because Manny meant so much to us and our company, top-rank boss Bob Arum told The Ring. But it seems really questionable that, at his age, he would put himself at risk by going into the ring with a champion fighter. I mean, George Foreman wasn't even that age. He was younger when he beat Michael Moorer. And George had been active over the years prior to that fight. Manny hasn't been active at all, really. Arum, now 93, was referring to Foreman's historic title win in 1994, when he became the oldest world champion in boxing history at age 45. However, that record was later broken in 2011 by Bernard Hopkins, who became champion at 46 with a win over Jean Pascal.
With opponents, with Morales, with Marquez. He was a great fighter, Pacquiao. But again, he didn't have the same body of work that Inoue had. I mean, look over Inoue's career.
Still, Pacquiao's world title bid this summer, made possible by World Boxing Council rules that allow former champions to qualify as challengers, has drawn criticism within the boxing world. He's an amazing person, Manny Pacquiao, and if anybody can do it, he can, said Arum. But I'm really concerned about it, given his age and his inactivity. That said, I will certainly be rooting for him, because he's truly a great guy who has meant so much to us as a company. Widely regarded as one of boxing's all-time greats, Pacquiao remains the sport's only 8-division world champion. In July 2019, during his second most recent professional bout, he defeated Keith Thurman to become the oldest welterweight champion in history at age 40. Now, he will look to surpass his own record when he faces Barrios.
That he has to fight at 46 after 72 fights. I'm concerned that he's got to fight a young guy that has been active, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned about that. That's it for me. I'm with
Pacquiao
you.
is also known for his political career in the Philippines, where he served as a senator from 2016 to 2022 and ran unsuccessfully for president in 2022. Now, he is eyeing a return to the Senate. Among those concerned about the legendary Filipino champion is International Boxing Hall of Fame trainer Teddy Atlas. On his podcast, The Fight with Teddy Atlas, he expressed his worries about Pacquiao's age, how he looked in his last professional fight against Yordenis Ugas in 2021 and his exhibition bout against Rukia Anpo in 2024. I'm very concerned.
One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, Yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active.
I don't want to stop anyone from making a living or making money, but I'm very concerned about a great man who has helped his people, fought for his people, lifted his people up, and given away money to his people, said Teddy Atlas. But now he's in a position where he has to fight at 46 after 72 fights. Pacquiao, 46, showed his age in a unanimous decision loss to Yordenis Ugas, who was a late replacement for former unified welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr., who withdrew due to an eye injury suffered in training. The former 8-division champion also struggled significantly in his exhibition bout against Rukia Anpo, a kickboxer. Barrios, 30, faced Ugas in 2023, dropping him twice on the way to winning the WBC interim welterweight title by unanimous decision.
I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him. Maybe that made a difference, whatever. But I thought he performed as well as he could. I thought he performed well. I really did. I have to say the truth. I thought he performed well for what he could do at that weight and at that point in his life. But I also thought after that fight, he should probably think about leaving, because he performed as well as he could.
Barrios defended the interim WBC welterweight title once, defeating Fabian Maidana on May 4, 2024. Before being elevated to full champion after Terence Crawford vacated the belt following his move up to 154 pounds. In his only defense as WBC welterweight champion, Barrios fought to a draw against Abel Ramos on November 15th, on the undercard of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Keith Thurman is the other common opponent between Pacquiao and Barrios. Pacquiao defeated Thurman by split decision on July 20, 2019, to win the WBA super welterweight title, while Thurman defeated Barrios via a one-sided unanimous decision on February 5, 2022. Teddy Atlas vouched for Pacquiao's ability to jump right back into a world title shot because of his career accomplishments, and believes that facing Barrios is Pacquiao's best chance to become the second oldest champion in boxing history.